Good morning, afternoon and evening, my crazies. My name's Angela, I'm the crazy poppy lady, and fingers crossed this live thing is even working. I haven't got a clue. I'm having an absolute mare of a time. I tried to set it up the normal way, but it didn't want to work. So fingers crossed this is showing. I'm just going to jump on my tablet and see. She says moving her stash of cups. Should have really got a drink and stuff, shouldn't I, before we started playing today. I'm unsure if this is even working. As I said, if you get to see this video later, welcome in for later on. If you manage to find me in a few moments or so, then woohoo, I finally got it working. But I am on to the old method, not the new method, so the StreamYard thingy doesn't work. Oh, Joe! Welcome in, Joanne. Hey, there's at least one person that's found it. Yeah, complete and utter surprise live, Joanne, sorry. So what are you up to today, honey? Because I'm just carrying on with this blanket, and I thought, well, as I'm doing it anyway, you might as well keep me company because I'm stuck on this seat. So welcome in. If I'm just trying to think, what have I got going on the channel at the moment that I haven't told you about? If you are looking to purchase any patterns off the Ravelry shop at the moment, pop over there. I've got a discount code, I believe it is 20% off, that you apply on checkout at the end. And the code is LOVE, and it's all lowercase. Okay, so it's LOVE, love, for 20% off of all of the written patterns over there. Then I've also done the elder membership program thing. There is 3 different tiers. You've got inpatients, outpatients and asylum members. They're the different price ranges. If you choose to be an asylum member, you get a free pattern each month. And at the moment, because I haven't quite sorted it out properly, you get to choose a winner only pattern, or you get to choose a pattern off of Ravelry. The choice is yours for that one. But in a couple of months' time, once I get my brain in gear and do it properly, the plan is that you will get a copy of the pattern that will be getting released the following month. So at the moment, as some of you may know, I'm doing the little bird, ooh, she says, bashing and crashing. At the moment, I'm making the pattern and the tutorials for this little guy, little bird. So of course, once that's ready to go, I would then send that over, a copy of that over, if you so wished. If you were, of course, one of the asylum members, you'd get that copy first. You get access, of course, to the videos first, and if somebody purchases it over on Ravelry, of course, they also get early access to the videos as well. Then it'll come out a little bit later for everybody else on the channel. Right, so we got Joanne's in with a hello, and she is making a llama on a small scale. Are we talking keyring size, or are we talking middle size, or are we talking huggable? Hello, Blind Stitches Creations. She says, hello, Miss Angela, good morning. Virtual hugs, happy Monday. Hey to everybody in chat. Hello, darling. Do me a favour, everyone, still call me a Poppy in the chat, because I'm so used to not having my name used in the home and things like that, that I would just think you were talking to another Angela on the in the chat, basically, because there's a few of us taking over YouTube. If we're not Angela, 9 out of 10 times it's either Angela or Kim. Hello, Star, welcome in, darling. She's saying, hey, crazy Poppy lady. Hannah is in with a hello, Poppy, and hello all to in chat. Lisa Knits is in with a hi, Poppy. And our cheeky blind is Blind Stitch Creations is saying that she is working on a textured beanie with front post, back post double crochet. Oh, that is going to work up beautifully. How are you finding doing those stitches more by feel than anything else, darling? Because I must admit, I've made something recently that I showed. Where is it? There. That I showed the other day. Ooh. Luckily, I've written the information on the back of the label. But yeah, I showed this on Sunday's Whips, Bits and Chat. It's a cowl and it is a really super duper warm, and it looks better on than what it does me holding it up like this, but because I've got a thick jumper on, I best not. Otherwise I look like I'm having hot flashes, well, more than I already am. And now I'm not suffering with hot flashes yet. I think I might have a couple of years to go. But this one was, oh, it's the wrong label. Where did I put it? Over there. Yeah, so this was made with the homespun stripe, which is now no longer available. There are probably something similar over in America, but I'm in the UK, so I'm not going to muck around too much trying to find a match, because I wouldn't want to pay import prices on this. And the pattern is of this one is the Cozy Crochet Cow pattern, and it was designed by our cheeky crow Joe Corner, and I was lucky enough to win the pattern, you see. So what was I saying? Yeah, this one I had to do by feel because of the yarn itself. I've got it on spool still, thankfully. It's a very wibbly, wobbly yarn. Hopefully you can see that and not my face. There we go. It's a very wibbly wobbly yarn. So I'm used to working with a bog standard boring DK weight yarn, not used to working with this wibbly wobbly. And when I was working with it, it was quite difficult to work out where the stitches were, or should I say to see the stitches, so I did it by feel. Welcome in, Affordably Crafty. How you doing, honey? Well, cheeky Kim, as I said, I was taking the mickey a little bit earlier, Kim. I was saying that it's either Kim's or Angela's that are taking over YouTube at the moment. Although you're like me, you've been here for a good few years now. We've got hi Lisa. Oh, one of the tragedies. It was taking me a little while to work out that comment then, Kim. Right, so Affordably Crafty said that one of the tragedies of her stash, 80% is clearance, closed out or thrifted yarn. She fell in love with the yarn and then she can't get any more. Thankfully I didn't fall in love with that one. As far as it looks really cute once the item is made up, I think that's I managed to match the yarn and the pattern really well, because the pattern itself is a really lovely easy stitch to do. So because of that and the chunkiness of the yarn, it's made a really beautiful project at the end, but I wouldn't be purchasing any more of that yarn even if it was in a different colour. And if somebody wanted me to make it again in that yarn, I would charge them an arm and a leg, because then they'll say no. I would seriously overprice the work. I am evil. But if I don't want to make something again, that is what I do. She says, barely able to sell anything, actually. What have I sold in total? 3 projects in my entirety. I've only sold 3. Welcoming Be Creative Crafts. Nice to see you, darling. She's saying she's in. She's working and lurking. And everybody is saying hello to everybody. Right, so what else are you girls up to? Are you what are you making at the moment? Because really I should be sitting here crocheting backwards and forwards in this corner to corner. I really don't want to do it. I really don't want to. If you noticed, I'm doing a live just to escape. That's really good going. Oh, she's deleted it. Okay, I was just translating the couple of spelling mistakes, darling. Don't worry too much about spelling mistakes, because I make enough of them to be able to work out what any words were. We'll see what she says in a minute. She might be popping it up a different way. Yeah, so that's what everybody's chatting about. Right, yeah, so today, as I said a little bit earlier, I just thought I'd pop in, say hello to everybody, let me bring up a couple of things to highlight if I can. I'm using the old editing software, so I'm sorry to say we can't drop links at the moment, just solely because I'm on the wrong thing. And the other thing used to do it beautifully, but I've only ever used it once. They seem to be arguing with my computer, so it's a case of, do I remove the one that I know and put on the one that I don't? Or do I run the risk of just letting them argue with each other? Where are we going? Open note. So I'll be back with you in a second. I can't multitask at the moment. My brain is seriously shutting down. There we go. Aha! Did it. Okay, so as you can see, I'm just pinning a message now, which is of course the 20% off discount code for Ravelry, along with a link. I knew I'd get there in the end. Where have we gone? There we go. Yeah, so that'll give you 20% off of any of the written patterns. That's all the corners, and the jumpers and the baby blankets and things like that that you can see in the opening titles normally. Alright, so where are we? So Kim says that she is working on Cinnamon Stitch's headband. It's in her premiere yarns week. A pattern and tutorial a day. Crikey, that girl's been busy getting one out a day. Nutter. Bonnie's in. Welcome in, darling. If I hadn't said hello already, she's saying good morning. She's working on her Sophie today. Rosie Posey is in as well. She's saying hello to everybody. Welcome in, darling. And Kim is saying it's a super quick project. And hello to everybody. Oh, Kim spotted it. Okay, right, so years and years and years ago, my husband, when I first learnt to drive, we'd been watching a little cartoon on YouTube called Simon's Cat. I will link it in the description box of this video after we come off the live, because no, my luck, I'll end up cutting the live off otherwise if I muck around too much. And we used to watch Simon's Cat with the kids. So when I first started driving, my husband brought me a car sticker to stick above the petrol cap, which is this little guy here, Simon's Cat. Okay, and it had a little bowl as well, and you put the bowl over the cap for your fuel, basically. But I've never got round to doing it. I kept losing it. One time it was down the back of a cupboard and we found it when we moved, so I put it somewhere safe during the move. Then couldn't find it when I unpacked. And then found it a few years later, was about to put it on and the car broke down. Then we got a new car. Hubby says, are you going to put the sticker on? And it seems to be a bit of a jinx, that sticker. Every time I threaten to put it on a car, the car breaks down. So now it is staying in this room. That's probably why my computer keeps playing up. I'd like to blame something anyway. So yeah, we've got a cheeky Simon's Cat in the background. Really good spot there, Kim. She says she loves Simon the cat. He's so funny. Her kittens are going to be a year old in a month. Crikey, that has gone so fast. I remember when they were little balls of fluff. And Lisa S is saying, hi, crazy lady, how are you? Can you explain the easiest way to crochet a jumper? Okay, I'll give it a go. I haven't done many. Okay, I find it easier to go from the bottom up, especially because I'm long-bodied, so my sizing doesn't always. When I've made a something like a jumper or a cardigan in the past following somebody's tutorial, I've always had to play yarn chicken when it comes to the end of the project if it's a top down. But for ease, I find working from the bottom up, because then I can keep going until it's the length I need. And then if it's a case of yarn chicken, it just means I don't have any sleeves. That's what I did with my mother-in-law's jumper. It was her own fault for stealing my favourite yarn out of the stash that I'd bought. But yeah, that's how I find it easy. Other people will say different things, but to be honest, it does depend on the pattern that you're following and how well it's written. If it's got a video tutorial and things like that, it's a case of working out which way is best for you. So I would stick with something small, go for a baby jump, baby's top, like jumpers first, and then you can work out whether you like the top down method or the bottom up method or the side to side or the round back. You know, you get what I mean, yeah. So hopefully I've helped you answer that one. I remember, so Kim is saying, sorry, I'm having to pause, think of the name. You know what I'm like, Kim. Think of the name before I say it. So she's saying that the kittens are a brother and sister from the same litter. And hello to Lisa. Okay, so our cheeky Blind Stitches creation is saying, sorry, her voiceover is acting up. That's fine, darling. I will translate if needs be. She says she counts her stitches when the round ends so that she knows she is on point, and she also feels for her stitches, which happens quite a lot. I must admit, I do quite a lot, sort of just watching telly and not paying attention and just counting each stitch or the combination of stitch that I need within a certain hole, and then feeling for the next one. It's something that we learn over time, isn't it? Hey, welcome in, Divergent. She's saying hello, Poppy Lady, and others. Lisa's saying hi to Kim and asking, how are you? Our Divergent is saying she's severely disappointed. She's just finished another duster length cardie, and even though the length is right, the fit is all wrong. She's decided to get I've decided to get correct fit. I'm gonna have to design it myself. That's sometimes it. You've got the basic pattern, and then you have to, not have to, but if you're a between size, I'm an awkward size, so I'm a between size girl as well. So I end up having to measure it as I go. Or another one to do is to get your favourite jumper that fits and isn't too tight. Yeah, because we know I've got that favourite jumper like this one. It looks loose at the top, but down the bottom it ain't. It's tight. It's tight and stretching. So you get your favourite jumper and you lay the new one you're creating on top of the old one to see how the shape is, and then try and shape it that way. Sometimes that helps. Kim is saying she's doing well. It's a filming day today. You sneaky sneak, you're taking a break. All the new yarn videos from Joanne's that she's put out in the last 4 days, I have seen them popping up, and they make me so jealous. So at the moment, rather than going, oh, I'm jealous, I'm just sitting there going, bird, 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 until it's done, because I need to get these tutorials done as well. She says sitting on a live, hiding. Where have we gone? Kim saying hi to Divergent. Welcome in, Camper. She's saying good morning, everyone. And Kim is saying she's swapping to her mobile, heading out into the car to drop her son off at pre-K. Okie dokies, darling. Drive safely, because it scares me when people are on their mobiles. Over here, if you're caught on your mobile phone, you get ticket and points. It doesn't matter if you're voice texting or anything like that. If you're caught, that's it. So I'm a bit dubious when people say, oh, I'm driving and listening. I'm like, don't do that, because if I make you laugh, you might not pay attention to the road. But drive safe, darling. So Camper is saying hi to Kim, Crystal and Lisa. Right, so as I haven't been around for quite a while, a little bit of a catch up for the girls that have just come in. As you can see above, There is a discount code for, I believe it's 20% off on my Ravelry shop with the code word love that you use at checkout, and it's spelled love all lowercase because I couldn't be bothered to push the cap lock when I was setting it up. Yeah, I'm bad. But there's a discount code there for you if you wish to use it. Also, I've opened up memberships to the channel. There is 3 different bands. One starting at 99p, which gives you the stickers in chat, and then as they progress up the price band, you get more for your cash. And by the time you get to the Asylum members, which is the most expensive one, you'll be getting your shout out, and you'll be getting a pattern a month, as well as the stickers and everything else that's lower down. There is a video attached, so if you want to join, by all means join, but I'm not twisting your arm up your back or anything like that. Yeah, so those are the 2 main things. What else was there? Oh yeah, help me if you want cotton yarn, give me a head knock, because I need to shift some of that so I can make some more. If you like the look of any of the cotton yarns behind me in the hanks, drop me an email, tell me which one it was, if you can second guess it, or I'll send you some photos and you can tell me which one it is, and then I'll tell you what the prices for purchase are, and of course the postage prices. They are steep if you're outside of the UK, and very steep. So I fully understand if you're outside of the UK and you find out how much the postage is and you go, no, just blame it on the postie. Okie dokes. Oh, we got some more guys popping in. Let's have a look. Right, so Divergent says that she's short but broad, mind in size of body. She got a 46-inch shoulder measurement. Barely less broad then. Might try a man's cardi pattern. There is that possibility. At the end of the day, if you're changing the colours, you change it to what you want, don't you? You just got to find one you like. I must admit, I have got one cardi pattern, which is the Crazy Cat Lady. It's worked from the bottom up, and you size it to you as you go, sort of. But yeah, you start from the bottom up, and I found that method worked well for me. And it also means that if you are slightly broader shouldered, you can add more, of course, onto the shoulder if you needed to. But give me a nudge if you decide to do that one and purchase a pattern and stuff. Give me a nudge and I'll see if I can help you out a little bit more. I haven't got my favourite version of that anymore because my mother-in-law stole it when I went over to Australia. I took it to show her because I liked it and I loved it, and she stole it. She hid it and refused to give it back, so she's got it now. She says I can have it back. She's going to write it into her will. So I've got a good 20 years to wait for that, thankfully. Let's have a look. So Divergent saying hi to Tina. Hold on. Oh, I'm on top chat, not live. I am so sorry if I've missed anybody's comments. Okay, where are we? Right, got that one, done that one. So our Blind Stitches is saying good morning to everybody. Jo is just making her lunch. Anyone for a cuppa? Can I have a sandwich, please? Yeah, I really should have had lunch before I came in, shouldn't I? Camper is saying good morning to everybody. She named as many as she could. Rita's in. She's saying hello to everybody. Everybody's saying good morning to her. Right, so we've got a good few of 12 viewers. Crikey, this isn't bad. This is quite good for me. Right, do any of you want to win a corner to corner pattern? We are talking the Dismay and the Marvellous range. I haven't got the photos to hand at the moment. it'll be sort of a vault pass. So it'll be all the ones that were mentioned last year. Any of you interested? If you're not, don't worry. I was just thinking of sort of running a silly little competition just to keep things going. Oh. Of course we do. That's because you're a pattern collector, Rita. Right, okay, so the boss, deputy boss, has spoken. Ah, here you go. We've got my 7 seconds or whatever delay. Right, okay, so now I've said that, I've got to think of something, haven't I? Okay, this is complete and utter guesstimating. Absolutely an utter guesstimation, unless you're going to sit there and count it, but you're not going to have long. Right, it is basically the first person to get as close as possible to how many boxes are in this section of the pattern. So that's how many boxes are in. I'm evil, aren't I? I'm an absolutely evil wench. Right, yeah, so there we go. Let's try and get it in screen. How many corner to corner boxes do you think is in this section of the pattern? I've actually got the number written down because I wanted to know, so that's why I've given it. So sit there and try and work out your math, or have a good guess, and we'll say it's either the first to get it or get close to it. One go of peep, please. So what we got? We've got 14 viewers in, so fingers crossed we will get 14 obnoxious silly guesses. Bonnie is saying 18. I wish it was only 18, Bonnie. Okay, so we've got Rita saying 125. Is that an educated guess, Rita? We got a 56. We got a 400. We got a 60. I wish it was that low. Have a go, Joe is a 484. Divergent is saying 116. So that's 2, 4, 6, 7 of you out of 15 have guessed. That person that has just sneaked in. It's a really daft question, and it is, how many squares do you think is in this section of the corner to corner? That's it. Just write a random number, and fingers crossed you'll go there. Tell you've made the corner to corners. You know my maximums. So was that actually a good guess there, Tel, or not? Welcome in, by the way, darling. Right, so Rosie Posey, it's an uneducated guess. How many corner to corner squares do you think was in the little bird that I just showed you? So that's, if you look up close, hold on, is it even on camera? Yeah, there you go. If you look here, each stitch I call a block. Okay, so it's how many of those blocks are there in this section of the pattern. Right, I think we're getting to the end there. Oh, right, Lulu, quick, just write a random number down, darling. Oh, you have, right. Okay, so I'm guessing that everybody has their guess in. So I'm going to now write stop. There we go. I did a little count in my head, that's why I went quiet. Right, now the actual number is 440. So let's scoot down. We've got Be Creative Crafts at 400. But we've got Have a Go Joe has jumped in at 484. You have been beaten. What are we on? Okay, so Be Creatives is still in the lead there. 360, too low. So, yep, I think we got it. Our winner today for this one is Be Creative Crafts with her guess of 400. Congratulations, darling. Yeah, as I said, it was a total and utter random one. If only you'd gone for the other way. Joe, you might, oh sorry, Joanne, you could have beaten her, but no, she got in there first. Congratulations, darling. If you could fire me over an email, my email should be in the description box down below. If not, it will be on one of my other videos. Just grab it from there and state that you won on today's live, please. Right, so what else is everybody saying? Let me, sorry, I was reading it to myself. I forgot I was on a live. Right, Miss Question. Divergent is saying she loves the little birdie. That's the upcoming pattern that people on the birthday live stitched me up with. They didn't know it was going to be the little bird pattern. I was going to sort of slowly do it over the next few months. But stupidly put in a little quiz asking what you want, whether you'd want to C2C next or not, and everybody said yes. I was hoping they would say no. But well, you got the little bird coming up. I've just got to finish the thing. So Lulu popped in and said a good morning to everybody. Lovely jubbly. I've got people saying good morning again. Rosie's saying she was still way off. Don't worry about it. I was quite shocked actually by the amount. But you've got to remember that each one of the squares is only a chain 2 and then 3 double crochet. So it's, unless you decide you're going to go down the route of doing it with a C2C mini. But basically it's only 3 double crochet a square, and it does, when you're working the blocks, they do work up really quickly. At the moment I'm on the back section of it, so I'm working on the stripe section, and I am speeding through those. I could have, if I hadn't have come live today, I might have actually finished the panel off. But I decided I was going to escape it and come and see you guys instead. So well done, thanks, congratulations. Okay, I need to jot your name down because we all know what my brain cell is like. Okie dokies. Thanks, congratulations. Welcome in, Bridget. Sorry, I have to say it like that, Kelly, because otherwise I call her Bridget. I see it as Bridget, so if I call somebody Bridget today, it will be Kelly. She's saying hi, lady, and chat, ladies. And Divergent is saying, holy smokes, Batman, and that's a lot of squares. Congratulations, Be Creative Crafts. It's not actually, in the big scheme of things, that is a small pattern for me. When it comes to the corner to corner, I've got a cupcake one and I've got this one that are of a very similar size. Then we move up to the unicorn blanket, then the koala. The ones you don't want to tackle unless you've got a lot of room, because the big one is the well, I thought the big one was the moose, but the big one is now the tiger. Oh, and there's also a penguin one that's about the same size as Maxa Koala. They're all on the opening titles, I believe, so I shouldn't have to pull them out unless you really want to see them, and then I'll have to get them off the shelf. But that's up to you lot if you want to see them again. So where are we? The lady. Holy smokes, I'd read that one. And then we've got a couple of hellos. Wow, that's crazy. Congratulations. Good morning, Kelly. Divergent, I haven't actually measured it up yet, and I haven't got a tape measure in here because it's in the other room, so I can't tell you that for the time being. It's not, this square itself isn't overly massive. What can I use? Crochet hook. I can pop it up against my crochet hook so you can have a look. So it's just shy of 2 crochet hooks. This is done in a DK weight, by the way. So it's two crochet hooks. There we go. One. There's the second. By 2 and a bit crochet hooks. Can't believe I just did the measurement like that. But yeah, measurements will be given, of course, in the written pattern, and there'll also be the how much yarn I used, so that you can guide your yarn purchase to making it and all the rest of it. But as I said, pattern's not out yet because I haven't finished making it, so I just want to make sure it's definitely correct. Where are we gone? Yeah, but this one's actually, was it one of them? I've made one which has its back as well, as a cushion. So one's going to be a cushion cover, and then the one that I'm making at the moment for the tutorial is going to be the blanket. So they'll be both within instructions on how to do both within the written pattern. But not this. This isn't the one that you'll that you've won. Be creative. Okay, this one's not up for grabs yet because it's nowhere near ready. Sunita, welcome in, darling. She's saying hi, Poppy, and hi all, and everybody's saying hello to her. Rosie Posey saying, penguins, you say? Yes, darling. There is a penguin one. Hold on, I'll show it to you. Oh. Whilst I destroy the gorgeous background I had. It's not a problem though. Right. It doesn't take long to put it back together again. I've just got to remember to show you the appropriate side because I can't remember if I sewed in the ends or not. Okay, so this one was the 2020 Mystery Cow Penguin. Okay, and the pattern is in the patterns playlist, and it's also available in written form over on Ravelry with that 20% code at the moment as well, which is love lowercase l. And here is the penguin. Now the tutorial, I can't remember if I added the border on the tutorial, as this one was a Christmas cow, but there he is, and it's got a candy cane style border. Okay, so I hope you liked the look of that one. Let's have a look. Where are we gone? Where are we gone? Alright, Joanne's asking me, have I thought about doing a mosaic blankets? I have got one mosaic tutorial, which is for a cactus. As far as doing a blanket's concerned, no, I haven't. I've still got too many of Courtney at Fiberfox Studios patterns to get through. I have made a sort of bed runner, I suppose you'd call it. I have made that with one of Courtney from Fiberfox Studios patterns, but that's in the other room, so I can't really show you that one at the moment, unless you don't mind me legging it for a few seconds. But yeah, as far as charting's up's concerned, that really does confuse me. I have got some ideas for them, and I have been working on one idea, but it's on and off when my brain cell's actually working, and as we all know, my brain has shut down for the last like 3 to 4 months, so yeah, that ain't happening anytime soon. Welcome in, Natural. Just saying hello, everybody. Unique is in as well with a hi. Hello. Yes, because you... Right, Tel's crazy. Tel has actually bought the Tiger C2C. Now, saying I'm looking forward to the new C2C and hope to start the Tiger one in the next few weeks. Do you guys want to see this Tiger one? Tel's is going to be better because Tel is going to follow the pattern properly, aren't you, Tel? Poppy didn't. Poppy got confused. So Poppy's got some squares to fix when she can be bothered. Here we go. Now, Tel, this is a massive one, and mine has actually been done in the corner to corner mini. All right, I think. Let me double check. Yeah, this is corner to corner mini. So are you ready for this, Tel? This is what you've inflicted on yourself. It's bad enough I did it to myself, let alone making you guys do it too. But here we go. You ready? This is in the C2C mini, and I've got no chance of fitting this all in. And yes, on mine there is a mistake. Okay, so let's go for round number 2. For your chance not to win this pattern, but to win one of the Vault Pass to one of the winner only patterns, which of course are the Dismay or the Marvellous. Tell me, where do you think my mistake is on this pattern? Okay, you're not picking on me or anything like that. I've asked the question, where is my mistake on this pattern? Right, you ready? Steady. This is what Tel's doing to herself. I can't even fit the whole thing in screen. Hold on, I'm looking through. As close as I'm going to be able to get it, I think. I've got no more arm room, gang. There we go. So I'm just going to sit here for a few seconds while you have a nose and look at it and go, where is she mucked up? Right, that's hot under there. Right, so let's go back to your comments while you lot were trying to work out where it is. Okay, that's crazy. Congratulations. Done that. Divergent about 1 foot to 18 inches as an estimated guess. 4, 8, 12, 16. Estimated guess of 19 centimetres. I do it like that, you see, because my hands are about 4 centimetres. I don't know. I will have to grab a tape measure at a later point for you, darling. Night night, Lisa. Have a lovely sleep, darling, if you're still here and listening. She says good night. Good night, all time for bed for her. Okie dokies, yay. Oh, Divergent, congratulations. She's saying she was asking the size because she's soon to have a great nephew, and she sees that being the perfect gift for him. Well, this is only part of the blanket. It's actually going to be in panels like I did with the cupcake blanket. So you end up with 2 birds and then 2 sets of stripes. I'm just trying to use up all the yarn, you see, but you can change the colours, of course, of the birds around, so it doesn't have to be pink stripes in with the stripe thing. You could change it to a different colour. That'd be really cool. I just don't know what colour I would personally change it to. But yeah, as I said, that's not going to be out. It's going to be out in written form, hopefully by the end of next month, and then it will be out as tutorials on the channel the end of the following month, probably. At the moment, I've just completed video 2 out of the set, and of course I'm working on the joining method and the striping for video 3. So it's got a bit of a way to go yet. But yeah, the size itself, I'm going to have to go and give me 2 seconds, gang. I'm going to take the caps out because my kitchen's close by. I will be back shortly with a tape measure. There we go, back with you. Right, okay, so estimations on this one, because as I said, it isn't finished, but the initial square in inches is approximately 13 inches wide. By the time you've done your second panel, that will be 26 inches by 24. So 26 by 24 would be quite a nice little pram blanket. And then of course you add your border in as well. So I'm just huffing and puffing because I did a mad sprint and forgot to breathe as I was doing it. Right, okay, so where are we going now? All the hanks behind me. Thank you, Sunita. These are cotton or cotton mix, and they're hand dyed by me. There is a playlist in my over on my channel. There is a playlist. It's called the Cotton Dye List, I think, or something along that lines. And they are the hanks that are left over from the Fun Day Dye Day sets. So if there's ones you like there, then drop me an email. I'll tell you how much they are and how much it will cost for me to get it to you. If you're outside of the UK though, expect the postage to be high because they're a bunch of scamming toe rags. Can't believe I said that. I didn't plan to. Okay. And so what is it? Everybody is saying how cute, and oh my gosh, how cute. Divergent is saying, how are you feeling, Sunita? And also, hi. How are you feeling, darling? If you wish to share, that is. Rosie is saying she loves it. It's so cute. Right. So I really should have put a secondary stop. Right. So the mistake that I made on my own one that I cheekily fixed during the I was really naughty. I don't normally muck around with photographs I take of my projects. It's literally stuck in a natural light, taken on this bad boy, and that's that. Right, there's the most I will do is crop an image, but when it came to this one, I was like, I am not unpicking that many rows. So I got it on Photoshop and I changed the colours of the squares that needed to be changed. Openly admitted, I edited my photo for the pattern for this one, but the written pattern is proper. It was just the fact that when I was making this, I was trying to use it to distract me from things that were going on in the home at the time, and it wasn't working. And so I was making mistakes and I was not paying attention. But are you ready? All right, okay, so we've got a couple here. We've got Sunita that is saying a forehead strip. Joe is saying whiskers. Bridget just says not. Kelly. Kelly is just saying nice. We've got he's adorable. Sunita is saying it's still amazing. Okay, so Rosie's also coming in with forehead, eyebrow and whisker on both on your left side of his face. Okay, we've got Samantha, welcome in, darling. We got a nose. No, his nose is fine. Everyone. Alicia's in with a hello, everybody in chat. Sue's saying eyebrow looks a bit wonky. Right, okay, so it's actually the first one mistake I noticed on it. Of course, this is mine, so there we go, that way up. The first I noticed was, yes, the eyebrow. Oh, wrong way. Okay, so it's, where are we? I can't do this without looking. I'm trying to look in the camera. Right, so yeah, it's these squares here that were wrong, and this eyebrow. And what are you saying about the nose? No, the nose is how it's meant to be. The whiskers are how they're meant to be. I thought I'd made more muck-ups. Right, yeah, so first one to say either forehead or no. You got me saying it now. Forehead or eyebrow was actually our cheeky Sunita. So congratulations, darling. You have won a copy of a winners only pattern. Now these are based off of a Marvel or superhero, Marvel or Disney characters, or Marvelous I should say, or Disney. There is about 12 or 13 of them now for you to choose from. Let me have a look if I've got a picture saved. I haven't got a picture of all of them saved, mind. But my latest favourites are these two, if I've still got it. Screenshot. There. Oh, you're joking. Did I get rid? I think I got rid, gang. That's not good. Yes. Right, okay, so my two favourite are Accident Prone Elephant. That one seems to go out the door very quickly, and Ohana. Where on earth are those images? Actually, let's do it that way. Sorry, gang. As I said, I was popping on the off chance that someone was here to keep me company while I crocheted. It's not worked. That one there. It's going to take me a little bit. So, Sunita, if you can drop me over an email, please, darling. Stating that you won today, then I will give you the list and you can choose which one you would like. There we go. Okay, so let's have a nose down and go back to normal now. Sorry, I'm just going to put the winner's name in, although you guys have already congratulated Sunita. It's just solely so that I've got it there for later reference, because we know how brain dead I am. So if you could jump that email over as quick as possible, then once we've finished the live today, I will of course, what was I going to say? Yeah, I will then fire you over the email and have a chat back and forth with you. Why can I not find what I want to find today? Right, it's not working. I can't do it. This thing's playing up. My brain cell's gone to sleep. So, congratulations, Sunita. Good going, girl. Right, so that's got our two winners out for today. That's cool. Yeah, so as you can see there, I still show off my mistakes as I make them. My work's not always perfect. Half the time I end up having to undo rows and things, which is what I'm having to do at the moment. Well, not at the moment, but what I have done previously with just with the bird, I've had to strip back 3 rows because I got them wrong. So of course, then you have to delete the video you've made, the bit of the video you've made. So what's everyone got planned for this week? What are you up to? Are any of you escaping for more than the food shop run or the school run? You've all gone quiet on me. Are you guys waiting for me to run it another competition? I can't think of what else to do. Okay, let's have a sneaky peek at this girl here. Now, isn't she beautiful? This is Evie, or Evangeline as her name actually was when she came to me, with the abbreviation of Evie, because Mrs. C Cottage made this little girl. And Mrs. C Cottage knows I've got no chance of spelling Evangeline. So she abbreviated it to Evie for me. So Evie was made with the yarn that Mrs. C Cottage ordered from me a while back. There is a video in my cotton playlist that says Mrs. C Cottage. That's where you'll be able to see how I made this yarn. Now the reason I'm showing it is I thoroughly enjoyed making the video for this yarn, because what I actually did was I got a little stamp that my husband made for me in the shape of a rabbit. Boing! It went on the cotton as I was dyeing it. Yeah, so if you want to have a nose at a silly video, or well, not a silly video but a nice video where the yarn came out absolutely beautifully, have a nose at her pattern there. Not her pattern, sorry, her video. And there is also a video of me unboxing her, because I didn't actually know she was coming. I just asked for a photograph of whatever's made, okay, and I said, oh, can you send me a photograph when you've made it? And Mrs. C Cottage actually sent me Evie instead. So yeah, Evie sits behind my shoulder there, whispering naughty things in my ear. She is very sneaky. Okay. Joe is saying it happens to us all. I'm assuming you're talking about the forgetfulness. Mine has got a lot worse since I got long COVID. One day it'll come. I hope my brain will come back. Okay, so Rosie is still trying to design the perfect Gombra from Super Mario. Hold on. When I read that, I probably got the name completely wrong, but is that the one that looks like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle on steroids? Sorry, the green, yeah, Teenage Mutant Crocodile thing. Or have I got completely the wrong idea? Be Creatives is saying cute. Brilliant, Sunita. I will deal with that later because I can't multitask at the moment, darling, but at least it's there ready to go for when we jump off the live. And Rosie's saying she loves the bunny, and Camper is saying so cute. I'm showing that. Might get told off here and get banned, but hey ho. Joey's saying she's got no school runs for her anymore. Her 3 kids are at uni. It's so quiet in the house this week. I wasn't expecting to still be doing them either. My youngest is 17. She's in 6th form. She knows how to use a bus and has a provisional driving licence. Hasn't taken lessons. And my husband realised that it's actually cheaper for me to drive her in and out every day than what it is to get the bus to school, because we have to pay for the bus fare, you see. So it's actually cheaper for me to drive her in, even with the cost of fuel prices going up. It's daft. But it means that then that I go up there and I sit there, and that's where I would be crocheting poppies or something until she comes out. Rita's saying her plan for the week is to survive. Sounds like a really good plan, darling. And hopefully sew some notions bags, 2 small backpacks, and some bags. Crikey, you've got a couple of things in the pipeline this week, girl. And Rosie is saying that Gombra, no, he looks like a poop emoji. I can see that being fun to crochet, darling. I would do a long tube, just a long round tube, and then sew it as I curl it around itself. I would sew it to itself. That way you could have a secret hidey hole on the inside. Just a thought. That's about as far as I go when it comes to creating patterns for amigurumi. You may have or may not have seen my amigurumi pattern. It hasn't got a hashtag number. It hasn't got a written pattern. It looks like a poop itself, although it was meant to look like a a cake, like a chocolate log. It was meant to look like a decorated chocolate log. Instead, it just looks like the log part. But I put it up so that, because it's still showing increasing, decreasing, magic, and all the little tips and tricks. It's there for the tips and tricks. It's not there for you to actually make, unless you really wanted to laugh and improve on what I've done. Liam's actually got it as a toy, and he'd buried it. We found it, we washed it, we gave it back. He now hugs it every night. So it ain't getting buried again. I must admit, when I put it in the wash, he did sit there in front of the machine watching it go round. So now the threat is, if he buries a toy, I'm going to drown it. And then he looks at me and he stops, because I'm like, you do that, I'm going to drown it. He's like, I ain't burying. And he brings it back in. It's really sweet. I'll see if I can catch him one day in a video for you. But every time the camera comes out, he freezes now. He's like, I'm doing nothing. Or he becomes all excited, as if to say, go on, give me a treat then. Divergent saying she never resolved her brain, restored her brain, sorry, from pregnancy brain, and her baby's 17. Your baby's the same age as mine. Imagine pregnancy brain, right? Not recovered, and then another pregnancy brain on top. That's what I'm on at the moment. It's like I'm carrying triplets. That's how I see it anyway, because I'm thinking with each baby you lose more brain cells. Which is why I say it feels like I'm pregnant with triplets. I look like it too. No, I'm only playing. I'm not. No more children. I am. Rita's saying, so sweet he is. She's just started getting the hang of doing amigurumis. It is fun. Hers are going to a domestic violence shelter. That is a really beautiful place to donate your stuff to, darling. Those kids are going to absolutely adore it. Lulu's saying, so happy to hear you're feeling better, Sunita. Quite a few other people have said the same thing, darling. I just skipped, didn't quite catch the comments. Yeah, Rita is saying that her brain has a constant fog because of I know you know. Fibro and other pain related things. So understands. Wow, Joe, that's so cheeky. Saying that, I think they're the same in Wales as well. All the extra countries get freebies. Joe says that they're quite lucky in Scotland, as the kids get free buses until they are 22. I wish. No, my daughter's outside. It might be different if we live closer to her school, but we are outside of her catchment area. There is another school that she could have gone to that was a lot closer, that she did actually go to, that she could walk to. It would take her about half an hour, but she could walk to school. But halfway through her school life, we pulled her out of the school because the headmaster would not deal with bullies, basically. And it wasn't just a verbal word, it was threatening behaviour of an explicit content. There we go, I managed to say it without using any naughty words. But yeah, so the headmaster wouldn't do anything, and it turned out that the lad that was the instigator was already known to the police for harassment of the same behaviour on other children at the school. So I think the school was getting a kickback for having him there still, because they couldn't send him to any other school because it was the last one for him. So the headmaster said, if I don't like the way they're dealing with it, remove my daughter. So I said, okay, bye. And we took her to another high school, and this high school is absolutely brilliant. She loves being there, they love her. We had a parents' evening the other week, and of course my daughter is very good at art. She's the one that has done the graphic that you can see down here. I can't believe I managed to point to it, but she did that graphic when she was 14 for me. So if you can imagine, that only took her half hour. That was nothing. She's just like, yeah, ping, here's another cool picture. So her art teachers love her because she just gets on with her work. Her film studies teacher loves her because she gets on with her work. Both the art teacher said she wished she had a classroom full of children exactly the same as my daughter. The film studies teacher said, I wish I had a classroom full of kids like your daughter. I said, why? He said, because it would be quiet and they wouldn't do my head in. Because she's one of these kids, heads down on the table, work's done. But yeah, it's just the way it goes, really. So it's going to be a shame when she leaves, but she doesn't intend to go to college or university at the moment. She wants to start up her own business of dog grooming, so she's in the process of trying to find courses locally that will train her up, or an apprenticeship. I think she's going to go down the apprenticeship route. We'll just have to wait and see. But she needs to get her finger out and get doing, get looking a bit more intensively than what she's doing at the moment. But she's still finishing, of course, her artwork for her A-level and stuff. Camper, it's not actually a school bus, darling. It is just normal public transport, but we call it the school bus because it goes past or near the school. But it is the one that is open to a public people. So my daughter could be sitting next to her mate's nan, or the crazy person from up the road. You just never know who you're going to get on the bus. As I said, it's a public bus, it's not a school bus. You can only get the school bus if you're within a certain proximity to the school, and you need it for either medical reasons or or your family is on some sort of assistance. Normally, I think. I haven't looked into it because we're outside of the catchment area for it, so I don't know the full ins and outs on it. Sue's saying, what was it? I get up with my grandson if I don't see him off to the school. He doesn't like to go. My eldest was like that. She would purposely be late for the bus, come back and go, I can't go to school. Why not? I missed the bus. And I'm like, go out of the estate the other way, walk up and get on the bus stop up there. And she's like, well, why? Because the bus that you've missed takes 15 minutes to get to that stop. So off you go. She hated it. And I was like, come on. She just wanted a lift in, basically. But at that point, I had kids going to school in opposite directions, so I couldn't do the school run for the pair of them. It was one or the other. So of course, the youngest got the lift in, and because I needed the eldest, to be more grown up and take the bus. She was 15, she's perfectly capable. Where we gone? Right, Rosie's saying I pronounced Goomba, and her son requested it. Already made Mario, Luigi and Star, and many Toadstool mushroom characters as well. That's really cool, darling. It sounds like you are going to fill his room up soon. Don't forget, you're going to need some blocks with question marks on as well. I'm evil to you and I, girl. There we go. Silver is saying she's popping in and out, Miss Poppy. And she's going downtown for coffee break. Hope I'm well. And we'll rewatch later. Hello, Silver. Thank you for popping in and out, darling. We'll see you soon. That's the point. If you guys could hit that thumbs up for me, I hate asking, but if you could, that would be really beneficial. Thank you ever so much. If you haven't already, I don't actually know how many I've got. Sue is saying the bunny is the springtime version of Elf on the Shelf. Does she get up and do tricks? Well, she nicks the carrots out the fridge. That's what Liam has told me. It's the rabbit doing it, not him. She seems to get blamed for a lot of misbehaviour by Liam. But whenever I come in, she looks like she hasn't moved. So I'm not sure. A Flourish, a welcome in, darling. She's saying hello. Hope you are all well. Mrs. C Cottage, a welcome in, gorgeous. She says they have big ears and can listen. They have no mouth, so they can never share. And of course, Mrs. C Cottage was the gorgeous creator of my cheeky Evie. I showed her off a little while ago now. Mrs. C, Evie, stay put. Oh, and it even said her full name is Evangeline, but you said Evie on the paperwork, so you knew I could read it and pronounce it and write it. Now, if you want one of those rabbits, of course, give Mrs. C Cottage a nudge. They are an adoption only. And I don't know how much time she has got at the moment to be able to make any. So it is a case of if you like the look of Evie and some of her friends who are also on YouTube, there's a couple others floating around, bouncing around, I should say. And give Mrs. C Cottage a email and she'll tell you whether she'll be able to fit in your adoption. Where are we? There we go. Where are we gone? Oh, there we go. Joanne's saying that is really bad, Poppy. Glad you took your daughter out of that situation. I remember having a big ding dong with the headmaster about bullying too. Told him to do his job. Yeah, well, I did as well. Turned out he was scared of me. I went mama bear mode. But when I go mama bear mode, it's not with fists, it's with words. My brain clicks in and I can come out, I can argue something chronic when I go mama bear mode. Everything is pronounced correctly. That's not me normally. Everything, punctuation and stuff is correct. Scenarios are correct. And I use long words. And if you pull me up on what does that long word mean, I can tell you that too. When I'm in mama bear mode, no other time. And I run rings round him. And it was all a verbal and non-abusive, no foul language. I had another teacher come up to me and say he was very proud of me for not swearing and cursing and knocking the bloke out. Yeah. If I'd have seen him outside, I might have done. Considering the how bad the situation was. Let me see. Good morning, Flourish. Divergent says her daughter's teacher got mad because hers draws too much. They don't realise that drawing soothes the little gremlin. She can be quite gnarly. I'm thinking that is, if bothered. She is an extreme introvert. Yeah, a Divergent, and my daughter was the same. To calm down and wind down, that is what she used. She used art, and she's been drawing since she was able to hold a pencil at about 18 months. and then we had to move her over to digital art with a tablet when she was about 7, because she realised that she was causing a lot of damage to the environment by using up all the paper that she had. We wouldn't bother buying her colouring books or paper pads. We would literally just get her a big bulk of printer paper, you know, like 250 odd sheets in a packet. She would draw and colour on both sizes and do some absolutely stunning stuff and hand it over to us, and then go on to the next page and do the same. But she went through her phase of being an eco warrior and realised that she was killing the trees with her art and got quite upset about it. So that's when we moved her over to a computer. So now she just fills up hard drives with images instead. She does still carry a pad around for the times when she needs to. But yeah, it's something I encouraged from an early age. If that was how she calmed down, then brilliant. And as you can see by the little picture down there, she does a wicked job. And that one, as I said, it's very, very simple for her. She now does dragons and stuff all digitally in 3D. It's mind-blowing, it really is. Just gonna Joanne is saying that Divergent, she got caught drawing the teacher once. I just got caught drawing in sex ed's class the wrong thing on the blackboard. Does that count? Sex ed, what's the problem? Where are we going to need to doodle? Flourish is saying that she is not an artist but always needs to doodle to pay attention. Everyone learns and soothes in their own ways and it should be honoured. Lou is saying she has to go for now. Hope to see you all later and hope you have a blessed morning, day, evening, night, or goodbye, Lulu. See you soon, darling. Thank you for being with us. Sue Crochet is saying, laugh out loud. Yes, my grandson does the same. Drags time until he's missed the bus and says, oh well, I can't go now. Too bad. Mine missed their when mine missed their bus, they were kept home for a cleaning day on the hours they would have been at school. It's not only me that's evil then. No, mine had to do cleaning during recommended break times, which was the same time as everybody else, and then if they sat and went, I want to watch the telly, depending on what the subject they were meant to be learning was, I would put the channel on. So if they were in history, they got the history channel. If it was science, there would be a science channel. Geography, you get where I'm going here. So, and I used to put the most boring thing I could find on, whether it was curriculum based or not. So then they would go back to school the next day and complain. I had a teacher phone me up once and say, I hear you're teaching your daughter blah 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 yesterday. I said, no, the television did it. I stuck her in front of it. She won't be staying at home pretending to be sick anymore. It's like, that's evil but brilliant. Yeah, because I used to do the same when they were ill. Instead, they could lay on the sofa watching the television under a blanket, but it would still be school appropriate TV. Where are we going? Where are we gone? Where are we gone? Grandson does the same. Right. Divergent saying that to Joanne, so and I was called to the office and simply asked if they disciplined them negatively and maybe they need to explain why. Rosie's saying question mark blogs, a great idea, thank you. That's all right, darling, they're quite simple. Hopefully they're a simple one for you to do. Good point, Divergent, says Gio. Divergent says, Flourish, I agree, she is very ADHD and doodles allow them to focus, but some teachers have no clue. Yeah, it's the same with the older, it was when fidget spinners came in and the little pop things, they were designed for children to fiddle with 9 out of 10 times were ADHD or had Asperger's or something like that, and they really worked well. But the problem was they were picked up by mainstream, and they became an accessory. And as soon as something becomes an accessory, the school 9 out of 10 times will remove it, because every kid's using it, and every kid's using it as an excuse, not as it's what it was supposed to be for. Yeah, but once the teachers realised that my daughter was using art as a method to calm down, they used to give her the nod. Certain teachers would give her the nod. They would see her winding up, and they'd just go pencil, and she'd go okay, and she'd sit there and she'd draw something. 9 out of 10 times she'd be drawing a birthday card for the teacher or one of their kids or something like that. Bribery got her everywhere, that girl. Where are we going? Unique is saying that she has me in the background while she's on hold with the help desk. Oh, bless. Are you sneakily at work, honey? Camper says, yes, Crystal, it would help a lot without watching all around and not listening. Rosie says, I wish I was more quick-witted on Mama Bear mode. I'm kind of opposite and mostly want to punch someone. Don't get me wrong, I wanted to lay him out. I didn't, of course, but it does make me feel verbally hijacked. Yeah, well, that's the thing, because I'm not, as you notice, I pause quite a bit. I have to think about what I'm saying normally, but when I go into Mama Bear mode, forget it. I just open my mouth and let the wind blow around, as my mum used to say, and my nan did as well. And luckily it works for me, but don't ask me what I've said after the fact, because I don't remember, or I'll remember bits of it. It's like I've got two different people there. Hey Ninja, welcome in, darling. She's saying hello. Do I have a pattern behind me for the poncho? It is gorgeous. So yes, I do, darling. There is a written pattern over on Ravelry. It's called the Not Again Granny Poncho. If you use the code that is in the description at the top of the chat box today, there is a code, and it's love, and it's all lowercase, the word love. If you use that at checkout, that will get you 20% off the written pattern as well, and it comes with video tutorials. Oh no, Sunita, she's saying she's got to make sure everything is packed up in the basement. It is pouring like crazy. So are you expecting there to be a little bit of water seeping in today, darling? That's if you're still here. If not, fingers crossed it stays dry in yours. There we go. Joanne's saying she's just watched a really interesting program last night with Chris Packham in it about autism and communicating. Yes, I absolutely adore Chris Packham. My daughter was very, very much into animals. The same time she was drawing, her thing was animals. And what that girl doesn't know about animals is shocking. Okay, I will find a new fact about an animal, and I will say, oh, I found a new fact, and I'll start telling her, and she'll finish off the sentence for me. And when I found out that Chris Packham also was on the autistic spectrum, or however they want to say it now, I ran into her and I said, I have found out some juicy information. And she was like, what do you mean? I said, you know Chris Packham? She went, yeah. I went, he's just like you, girl. She went, I know, he loves animals. I said, no, he's got the same diagnosis as you. And she's like, whoa, that is so cool. Because at that point we didn't know any, I didn't know of many people that had the same or a similar diagnosis to her. So she had no one to look up to, really. But as soon as she found out about Chris Packham having it, she went in, she was like laser focused, like quite a lot of children are with her different quirks. And she went laser focused, and then she's coming in and she's telling me where he lives and asking if we could go and walk around the forest and see if we could bump into him and all this. And I'm like, no, we're not stalking Chris Packham. But it meant then that she could see that someone could achieve with a similar letters after a name, I suppose some of us call it, but basically with the same diagnosis as her, she can physically see that someone has achieved with it. So then she realised that having the little label wasn't actually a bad thing for her. How interested Chris Packham. Okay, so Divergent is saying both of her children have ADHD and they're dyslexic. So they are very creative, but to teach them, you can't expect them to be a typical student. No, not with either of those. Her kids don't have a chance with her. Laugh out loud. Her and hubby are both neurodivergent. Oh, cracky! I managed it. Okay, I read it and I said it and I know it, but I can't bring it out. Dyslexic here too. Oh no, Ninja! She said she's just had her ultrasound and she has got gallstones now. Pants, but at least it's better than what it could have been, eh, girl? We were chatting about it the other day. At least now you know. Drop me a Facebook message. We'll chat about it when I get off and I've sorted out patterns and everything with everybody. Divergent is saying that her children shared the same hyper focus, and it's awesome. Yeah, if you've got a child that does the hyper focus thing, it is absolutely brilliant because you can guide them and it helps with education as well. It's like my daughter used to say stuff like I can't do that because I can't read, and I'd say, oh, pass me the cereal box or pass me so and so box, and she'd pull out the one that was needed for whatever it was, and it'd be during cooking, and I'd go, oh, can you read the back for me, I can't see it, and I'd hide my glasses, I'd put my glasses down, I can't see it, and they'd start reading the back of the packet, and I'd be like, haha, yeah, you can read. My eldest was saying that she couldn't read, and the teachers were saying she was struggling with her reading, and they were keeping her below, like the rest of the kids in her class. And I'm thinking, I've read to this girl every single day of her life. I made a purpose of having books in the house and reading as much as I could. And the teacher was saying she's struggling. Well, me and my husband were going away for the weekend, and my mum was coming to look after the kids. And so my mum's an ex-carer, so I sat down and wrote her a care plan. For any of you that don't know, a care plan is your do's and don'ts and basic order list. It would be the sort of thing you would leave behind if someone was looking after your dog, not the kids. But I'd written my mum out this basic care plan, and my daughter comes over, looks over my shoulder and starts correcting my spelling. And I'm like, okay. So she carries on correcting. I turned up to the school the other day, like a couple of days later, and went, right, my daughter has been pulling the wool over our faces because she can read. No, she can't. No, she can't. No, she can't. I said, if she can't read, how can she correct this word, this word, this word, and this word? And they weren't little 5-letter words either. They were words that were decent size, decent lengths that I can't spell. And they were like, really? And my daughter went, yeah. I've been reading for years. I don't always read like mum reads to me, but then I go and read it behind her back because like she can't read it correctly. She keeps stammering over words and I don't want to correct her. But it's really crazy, isn't it? Ninja, I don't know if you've read this one yet, and I can't say whether it's a yay or a nay for me, but Divergent said she's not sure if it will help, but an old herbalist told her to drink lemon juice, apple juice and apple cider vinegar to flush out the gallstone. I don't like the sound of any of those. I would have said cut some lemon up, stick it in some water and leave it overnight and then drink it the next morning, maybe. Apple cider vinegar. Yeah. I know that's meant to be good for killing ants. So you never know. It kills the ants and it also kills the stone. Camper saying good morning, Ninja. Ninja's just about to get off the bus. And later, darling, we'll chat to you soon, honey. And Sue is saying she's got to go now. It was fun to watch. Camper is saying that my daughter may someday be a veterinarian or something involving animals. That's pretty much what we thought she was going to do, the line she was going to go down. At the moment, she's looking into doing grooming. So sort of dog and cat and small animal grooming. I was thinking she'd end up working in a zoo at the age of 9, telling the lad in the reptile house at a very well-known zoo here in the UK, told him something about one of the animals that even he didn't know. I can't remember what it was, but even he didn't know it. He had to look it up to check that she was correct. So he then added that into his spiel about that particular animal the next time round, because she was doing a what do they call it, a zookeeper for the day experience, and we got her about 3 or 4 of those in total. And every time, like the first time she went in, she told him about something about, what was it, one of the bearded dragons, I think. A second time she went in, she told him something about one of the creepy crawlies. The third time she went in, she said, do I have to really do the small pets again? Can you not set me to work with the bigger stuff? I'm big enough to handle picking up big amounts of feces. So he did. He went, she knows everything about this lot, let's move her on. So he moved her on to like the more medium-sized stuff, and she's telling him about what's it called? There's a fox and it's got pointy ears. It's so cute. I cannot pronounce the name of it, but she was telling him all sorts about that one. Nothing that's written down on the paperwork for the zoo or any of the little signposts or anything. It was stuff that she'd picked up from somewhere. It could have been anywhere, but yeah. Then the fourth time she went in, she saw him again. He's like, all right, girl, come on then. And I think he had her working with the larger animals then. She's like one step away. She's going, I'm always one step away. And I'm like, 1 step away? She's like, 1 step away from the tigers and the leopards. 1 step. They won't let me in the cage to cuddle the cats. And I'm like, oh, pack it in, woman. Oh, Rosie. Right, okay, so Rosie says she thought her son would be a doctor after she heard him lead a team of other children to perform bug surgery on a slug. Sorry, there's something else that came into my head there, Rosie. I'm not going to say it though. Right, so Joe's saying that her daughter is studying to be a vet. A camper is saying at that age her daughter wanted to be a posh to be Polish, and make designs on fingernails. She was good at it, but not the best paycheck in our area. No, it isn't, is it really? Divergent is saying she feels that dog grooming would be a good job for her because she'll be her own boss and she can prevent burnout by scheduling herself some downtime. And that Divergent is also autistic herself and may not have recovered from her last burnout. It'll take time for you, honey pie. Really, we want you back to tip-top condition, honey. Yeah, well, that's the thought. Her thought is she doesn't like people. She's not very good with her peers, and so she'd be perfectly fine sitting here chatting to you guys. She's absolutely brilliant with anybody older than her, absolutely brilliant with people younger than her. It's just her own peer group. It's like they're stupid. I'm like, you shouldn't be saying that. So she was working, she got a little Saturday job working in the pub, a couple of valleys, not valleys, sorry, but a bit further away. And she was working in this pub, but she was the pot girl, meaning that she was doing the washing up. And she was like, I was there thinking I was going to have a laugh and a joke. The chef's too busy to talk. This person's too busy to talk. We only talk on the downtime, and when it's the downtime, the outside staff bring in the plates, so I'm always busy. We're like, works for working. You get to laugh and mix after the fact. Now, she got on brilliantly with the team that was there because they were all a lot, like 3-4 years older than her minimum, and she loved working there. But she ended up giving that up because she was getting too stressed about her exams and stuff. Yeah, but as I said, yeah, it's brilliant because that's what she wants to do at the moment. We'll just have to wait and see. Right, so according to this, it's possibly wrong, I don't know. It's saying that I've got 7 of you viewing. I really should open this up and make it 8. Open it up on my tablet. Where are we going? Yeah, so where are we going? There we're going. Divergent is saying she used to love hanging around with the senior citizens as a kid as they didn't do stupid things. Your senior citizens were boring then. I used to work in care, and I was doing agency work, which meant I was going to different care homes until I found one I liked, basically. And there was one up the road from me, and I used to walk in and I would have my hair in plaits down the side. I was only like 18, 19 at the time. I'd have my uniform on, which happened to be blue and white checked. I had a pair of blue and white check pumps. Right, and I used to walk in and I used to skip, hop, skip and jump, like skip up and down the hall singing songs. And then I would have a couple of the old boys chasing me up and down the hall, either on their Zimmer frames or in their wheelchairs and stuff. We'd play hide and seek. I was daft. I really was daft in the downtime. That was when I wasn't having to do the job properly. But we'd have like pub nights and things like that, and I'd be the one up dancing with everybody, acting like a complete fool because that's what I enjoyed. I really did enjoy. I really did enjoy just acting the fool, and only being sensible when I had to. But yeah, the guys and girls I used to look after, they were all as bat crazy as me. They really were. The best way to do it. Right, so according to that, we've got 13 to 14 of you in watching. Right, let's do it again. Competition time. What should the question be? Yeah, okay. Are you ready? So the question is, what was my first corner-to-corner blanket? There we go. Okay, I should say first corner-to-corner blanket on the channel. There we go, just in case you thought there might have been different ones. And if you get it correct, you get to choose from one of the winner-only patterns, of course, which are either from the Marvellous set or the Dismay set. So Jo has come in with penguin. Keep guessing, everybody. There's like a few of them to go. We've got cupcake. We've got bird. No, the bird's the next one out. Camper, sorry, darling. It's the first corner to corner that I created. Not the first one you've seen. Teddy. I haven't got a teddy, darling. Not yet. Just have a guess, Rosie. If you've seen the titles on the channel, there's a couple of different choices on the titles as well. It is all for fun, and it's just as a guess. until I can think of some sensible questions. I've sort of run out. I normally have some cards, some question cards, but we've gone through them a few times now. So the crazies that have been here for absolutely ever know all the answers to all the cards, and they get in quick. They are such cheats. I love it. But yeah, so it is just a case of guessing. Nope, I don't have a heart either at the moment, Flourish. But the good thing is when you come out with wrong answers, you see, and it's something I haven't done, like your guess of a slug, you never know. It might end up being a corner to corner at a later point. I think a slug might be a bit OTT though, darling. It might end up looking like something rather wrong here. And nope, Tell, it wasn't my cupcake, honey. It was the one that started the patterns off on the channel, actually. How many of you have responded? 1, 2, 3, 4. 8 of you have responded. Is anybody sneaked off to have a look at the playlist and see which one was number 1, 2, 3 or 4 on there? A duck? Nope, not a duck, Bonnie. It is an animal though, you have got that. But you don't see them around anymore. Not a cat, darling. I haven't done a cat. Well, apart from the tiger. It's a big cat, I suppose. Now, is anyone sneaking off? No. You wasn't here at the start, Camper. Okay, darlings. Right, okay. So, oh no, where is it? There. And there. Right. Now, you guys mentioned cupcakes. I've thrown that one on the floor now. Oh, slug, cupcake, duck, cat. Wasn't here at the start. Unicorn, Joe, you are in there, honey. You sneaked in just as I was about to give you guys a choice of two. Okay, so congratulations, Joe. You've your last one up today for winning. Okay, so congratulations. If you can fire me over an email as soon as possible, please, darling. I will either give you a list, or if you've already got the list, I think you might already have the list. Choose one off the list, babes. Tell me which one it is, and then of course I will fire it over to you once we've done all the hoop jumping. So congratulations. The very first one out was in fact this one. Now this is what started this all off. There is the unicorn. I don't know if you can see it because I've got the wrong screen up again. There we go. Yeah, so there is the unicorn blanket with her cute little feet. Now the pattern for this one is of course available in written form over on Ravelry, and it's also a tutorial on the channel. The tutorial doesn't tell you how to do the border though. Okay, so this one I made, and this was right back at the channel, at the start of the channel, when all I was doing was coming on and showing off what I'd done in the hopes that some of you might find it interesting. And I was doing lots of other creators' patterns, and it was just me showing the works that I'd done because I'd bored everybody in the house. All of my friends, all of my family were all bored of hearing the word crochet. As soon as a crochet was the word came out, the shutters went down and they switched off. And so I thought, right, I'd start this YouTube channel just to show people. And then of course I made this one up, and this was based off of it was my own pattern. And then I had people saying, I want to make it, I want to make it, I want to make it. So I wrote, redid the pattern, did a tutorial best I could, and that's what started the whole ball rolling with all these other patterns since. My crazy stitch me up. I love it though. Right, so yeah, so there we go. I forgot to write in there a bit of copy and pasting there. So there we go, there's Joe's there. Right, so we've got Dark Cat, and Campbell was saying she wasn't there at the start. Bunny, yay. Oh no, Divergent, you were running over to be cheeky. She was looking through the playlist and fixing to say unicorn and heard that Joe beat her to it. Oh, thank you, Rosie. She's saying, wow, that's perfect. Do I use bobbins or skeins? Okay, I tried bobbins. I couldn't get enough yarn on there because I don't like having lots of ends to sew in. I hate ends. Okay, because of the poppy challenge, where there is 8 wool ends to sew in per poppy. So by the time I finish the challenge this year, that's 24,000 ends I'll have sewn in on the poppies. So I hate ends. Okay, so because of that, I've tried a couple of different methods. I started off, of course, with some balls that I just wound up normally. They were flying all out here, there and everywhere, all over the place, getting in the right mess. Then I tried caking it up because I'd got myself a wool winder. That was fine, but the cakes started to collapse, and I'd also done it so that I'd left them in the ball as well and hung it on my one of these, but then they collapsed as well and I was getting really irate. And the best thing I found so far is centre pull balls, just solely because you can make them up and they don't run away. They will sit on your lap where you put them. They're perfect. So no, I don't use the bobbins, darling. I use centre pull balls. But the balls are normally about that big, probably 10 gram most. I just wind them up until I go, well, that'll do. And if I get it wrong, I get it wrong and I have extra ends to sew in. Thank you ever so much for joining me today at Camper. She's heading off now. She'll see us all later on the YouTube street somewhere. Okay, darling, bye. Thank you ever so much. Oh, checking out time. I haven't even had lunch yet and it's nearly dinner time for me. No, it's coming up to 3. So I'm actually going to be heading off myself in a few moments because I need to get some food down my throat, see if I can carry on with this blanket, finish this section up so I can go back to recording for the tutorial. I'm so bad. It will get done, but as I said, the written pattern will be out hopefully at the beginning of the month and the tutorial will be out to everybody on the channel beginning of April. It'll have to be around April the 2nd, because if I say it's April the 1st, you lot will all say I'm being evil because of that date. Right, okay, so it's now time for my sign off. Thank you ever so much, everybody, for joining me today. You lot have been absolute stars. I didn't expect any of you to be here. I thought everyone was either going to be at work, in bed, or off doing something, because of course I hadn't pre-warned any of you I was coming in. Right, so thank you ever so much for joining me today. Please remember to stay chilled, stay happy and keep crafting. Goodbye everybody, and remember there is that code that's valid until the end of this month. Okay, so the code is LOVE, all in lowercase, and that is for 20% off of all of the patterns over on the Ravelry shop. Right, I'll see you all soon. Thank you for joining me. Okay, and I'll read what you're saying in a second because you're all saying goodbye. Bye.